mindset to results. Our guest today is Desirel Lawrence. He is the founder of Heartleap, the Academy of relationship for business, for life. And today we will speak about very interesting business relationship will work before we meet in person. Hi, Desirel.
How you doing today? Thanks for having me, Elena.
You're
Truly,
most welcome. You're most welcome. I'm happy to have you as a guest on our podcast. This is a really interesting topic because people build businesses, they're looking for partners, and of course, they want this partnership will last for long. And
yeah,
different situations happen. So let's discuss this topic today, and I'm sure that our audience will learn so much from you. But
yeah.
before we start the topic, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, just basically, have been working on the whole idea of relationships for a long time. I've written about a couple of books, not necessarily on relationships, but all on the idea of bringing society together so that we can live in a very harmonious environment. So I've written a book called The Path Paradise. I've written another book called The Wiz Diary, just so that you understand how you relate to society, how you make decisions in society. I've written Hallelujah, which is a gospel-based book based on the life of the Christ and how his experiences can be understood through profound understanding of what he did. Just taking every verse and understanding it through questions. So I've written quite a number of books just delving into the personalities and the characters of people. But what is very profound about what we have at HotLib is the understanding how your interaction with somebody else will play out. In that sense, what I'm simply saying is before I meet somebody like Elena, for example, do I know if you, for example, will be a good business partner for me? And would I go the distance? Will I be able to do things that will bring success to me in my relationship with you? And those are the kind of things we break down in My Real Love Academy, where we discover your 48 relationship types that can either transform your life in good or bad ways. So you might meet somebody right now, you like your friends, you understand the friendship. There's a lot of friendship going on, but are you actually good as business partners? And you think you're good as business partners, but at the end of the day, they will actually destroy you because you don't have the energy to work together properly. And so you want to know who you're working with at any given time. So you know that this will bring out the best in my character. This will bring out the best in my business. When we work together, we have so many ideas that we can just play with. So depending on who you are, you have the ability to trigger just because of the synergy of both of you working together. You have the ability to trigger the best relationship that might be for work, might be for business, it might be for love, it might be for marriage, it could be for anyone. But that's what I done, and that's my life. I've just transcended from my writing books, and right now I want to dedicate it to bringing people together in relationships where they can bring out the best in who they are. And hence I started Hot Lib. Found my wife through the academy by me actually using the system I've developed. So I'm a living example. And there's a number of testimonials on hotlib.com as well, where you can actually get a good understanding of what we do. But it's a journey. I believe it's a lifelong journey that I'm going to invest in the life of other people so that they can make the best partnerships at all times. Yeah,
Amazing, amazing. Yes, it is so interesting, so interesting.
yeah,
What I discovered in my life that everything is energy, everything is frequency.
yeah,
And
that's good.
people communicate and connect at different levels depending on where they are in their mind, yes, and what
Yeah,
channel they choose, like
yeah,
radio. Yes, there are so many different channels, so many
Yeah,
different programs, and depending on which uh, frequency we find
yeah,
as we tune, those programs we will hear in our life. And sometimes people communicating together, but it looks like they're totally different frequencies, see, like parallel. They are speaking, they're sitting together, but one is in one channel, for example, AM, and doesn't hear what is in FM, and that is
yes,
which is in FM doesn't hear what is in
that
AM.
is true.
Like
That
they're
is true.
communicating in the same room, but their experience is very different. So it is so interesting for me to learn about your perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes. My perspective is so similar. It's all about the frequencies. And if you look at it in terms of frequencies, um, love is a frequency. All right. If you the energy you transmit with somebody, if it's love, is a frequency that goes with that. If you are walking relationship with somebody, it's another frequency. If you are a friendship with somebody, it's another frequency. Frequency. If it's family, it's frequency. If it's sexual, it's actually frequency for that too. And all of them are different. And you cannot mix them together. Only if those frequency are intertwined in some form. So that means if you're good in work, the frequency and marriage and friendship and all three combined, there's another frequency for that where both work, friendship, marriage, good. Business partnership, sexual, you'll be surprised. There's a frequency for that. And there are other things like that. But you want to know what frequency you're in with somebody else before you ever get involved with the person. Because if, let's say, for example, you signed on the dotted line with somebody right now, and this is going to be the next 20 years, next 15 years, whether marriage, business, whatnot, you sign on the dotted line. You say, all right, I'm going to do, you carried away with what you want to do, and you get involved, and you get on paper and start doing working. And all of a sudden, you realize that this person doesn't, when he has his finances, he just spends without thinking. And all of a sudden, you already signed in a contract. It's not like so now you're dealing with a situation where all your money is just being wasted in your business and you don't know what's going on. This is not the right energy for success and successful business. But you have this person who is a partner that is not going to make you succeed. Whereas this same person, if he works with somebody else, can be extremely perfect for that next person that he works with because their frequency aligns. It's in synergistic. It is connected to make successful outcomes. So every relationship with somebody else has an energy frequency that determines whether it's going to be successful as a business relationship, successful as a family relationship, successful as a marriage partnership, successful as a love relationship, whatever it is. Every partnership has its own storyline and frequency. And that's what I want to be able to share with the audience. Let them know that your relationship has a frequency and you want to know what it means before you sign on the dotted line. Before you take the distance, go the distance with anyone, you want to know, is this going to play out to my advantage or my disadvantage? And that's what we do. So we take the guesswork out of any relationship and give you something that is solid. You can walk with confidence knowing that this is what the relationship looks like. And we base it on the week of the birth periods where you were born. So we have case studies on everyone. And just the week of the birth periods, let us know, all right, this week with this week, this is exactly what happens. And we have it in our academy. We show you everything in a 3-month period. We show you everything of the relationships, and you just choose the right person that you believe is you want, or maybe 2 or 3 or even 9. You pick the best ones, and we show you how to find these people on Facebook or Meta in 5 minutes.
So interesting. So does it
Yeah.
relate to astrology?
It has a basis on astrology, but it's on a different, it's more specific to the character, it's case studies, it's the higher level of astrological patterns because we work with the 48 periods of the year. So it's the higher level of the astrological patterns that allows us to understand the compatibilities between people at a very specific and detailed level. And it's open to the public in a way where you can actually understand these things. But usually this very understanding is not easy to access if you don't know what to look for, how to search for it. And I was able to come into a research and study this thing extensively and say, all right, let me package this for people in a way that they can understand in an academy where they can learn about all their relationship types, know what is good for business, what is good for marriage, what is good for love, what is good for all those things, and know which one is good before they get involved. And that's exactly what we do. We take them to the academy, they know what is good. And then when they know what is good, they just contact us. And what we do is show them how to find these people on Meta, that is on Facebook, instantly using the periods that we align. Oh, God.
Yes, very interesting, very interesting. So, does it mean that the person,
Yeah.
yeah, just continue, Israel.
Yeah. So,
Go ahead.
so again, we don't discuss this as astrology, even though we know that at the basis of this, it has astrological inclinations. Most people are not inclined to really put too much credibility in astrology. But I want to beg to differ on this because people have this strange belief about this, especially when you have a religious belief and whatnot. I always tell people, I say, who are the first people? Let's even take it on a Christian level, all right?
Mhm.
Who were the first people who discovered the Christ, who discovered where Jesus was born?
Shepherds.
Who were these people? They
Yes,
were like, no,
yes,
they're shepherds, but
astrologist.
they
Yes.
traveled from the east. They
Hmm.
saw the star in the heavens, and then they came to the location where he was born. Who were they? What do they call those people? The astrologers.
Astrologist. Yes. Hmm.
The astrologers. They don't talk about this part of the of history, but they are astrologers. They're the
Hmm.
only people who actually knew who the Christ was before he was actually before it became anything. They knew who he was, and they came and they brought gifts and they brought everything because they saw a star. So there's a place for astrology, and I don't say this lightly because I know there's an import for this. So we need to look at things from an objective place, and we shouldn't be so close-minded to these things. And this is why I don't. But in my academy, we don't talk about the astrological aspects like that. What we do is we speak about how the case studies that pinpoints the relational data between two people based on this date of birth, this birth periods actually intersect. And it's just completely clean of any astrological references. It's simply, all right, I was born on this day or this week period. This person was born on this week period. And based on the case studies that we have on these experiences between these people, this is exactly what happens between them. And by giving them that information, they can make an informed decision about the relationships they're going to get involved in before they ever get involved in it. And that's the best part of staying away from toxic relationships, knowing what you're getting involved in before you get involved in it, staying away from business partnerships that drain you and suck out your whole work life, not giving you any successes. You want to be able to partner with people that you know, all right, if I partner with this person, we are so good on the work level, it's perfect. Sometimes it's good at work, but that's about it. It's work and only work. If you mix relationship with it, it's gonna love, it's not gonna, but work, perfect. And so you want to be able to know what you're getting involved in before you ever get involved in it. And I think that's exactly what we do at the academy, show you exactly how any relationship will play out so that you can make an informed decision about what you want to get involved in with another person.
Yes, it's so interesting, so interesting. So, would you like to share some tips, for example, different maybe people who are born in winter, who are the best for them.
So
As
tell you what, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read something from the academy so you have an understanding from what's in the academy. And I'm just gonna read one sample report. I'm just gonna read, there's so many reports. There are over 2,000 reports, so many reports. And each person has at least 48 different kinds of relationships that it can be involved in. I'm just gonna click on one relationship that I have here, just one type. Let me see. I'm just going to click on this one. This is just one relationship type I'm going to read. And I'm not going to play this for you, but I'm going to read it to you. All right. So this is what this relationship says. And you have an understanding. There's so many relationships that we break down like this based on the date of birth and the date of birth of another person. So this is how we break down this relationship based on your date of birth. So let's say, for example, we gave you, you picked up, you come to the academy, you found your date of birth, you subscribe for 1 year so that you can get like a free report as well. You're going to get in there and you're going to see certain reports over a 3-month period. This is one report. It says secrets behind the curtain. This is a type of relationship. You, born between August 19 to 25, bring a secretive, imaginative, and mystical quality into a relationship with someone born between April 19 to 24, whose grounded practicality both intrigues and challenges you. The bond thrives when fantasy and imagination are honored, but falters when their pragmatism dismisses your hidden depths. So I will go into depths into how the relationship plays out. You maintain the private side, enjoying the mysteries that define your world. This is for the person that we're talking about, August 19 to 25. That's the person we're talking about. You maintain a private side, enjoy mysteries that define your world. This is April 19 to 24, however, may demand clarity and reject the illusions you weave. While your secrecy fascinates them, that is the 24 guys, the 19 to 24, it can later breed mistrust. Your need for validation through fantasy clashes with their insistence on realism. Early Romans burns brightly under the magic of your allure, but without understanding, the relationship struggles to survive long term. Friendships between you thrive, especially when creativity drives the connection. You value their practical advice while they admire your ability to bring vision and fantasy into reality. This makes artistic partnerships particularly successful. You see what I'm saying? Everything else might fail, but when you combine in your artistic partnerships, it becomes extremely successful. Work relationships, however, so think about this. Artistic partnerships, particularly, can be successful. However, work relationships, however, may suffer from philosophical differences as they believe in strict methods while you rely on flexibility and creative shortcuts. And so this thing's going like that, and it talks about the relationship. And then it says your best synergy. You excel in creative partnerships and friendships. So if you do anything in a creative partnership, you will excel. Where your imagination and your groundedness emerge. When you come together, your imagination, your groundedness, when they merge, you create great partnerships with creative ventures. Your lower synergy is in marriage, where conflicting values and secrecy cause strain. So it breaks down all these things in a relationship, and then it gives you an advice. It tells you, allow them, it tells you about them, it tells you what to do with your partner. It says, allow them to share in your world without fear. Reduce secrecy when trust is earned. Blend your imaginative vision with the practical wisdom. So this is like advice that will give you at the end of the relationship, so you know what how to how to get the best out of the relationship. We break it down, give you the whole storyline behind it, and then we show you how to make the best of it, no matter what relationship you already have. But we tell you your best business partnership, creative partnerships, and things like that.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. I
Yeah,
have one question here.
yeah,
Yes, this question is that person was born in a certain period of time. Does it mean that
yeah.
this person cannot change? Because yes, something is that we inherited as like stars somehow impacted us when we were born. But what
Uh,
on the other side, when we speak about personal development, when people want to be successful, when they work on themselves, so is there their ability, opportunity that they change, that it is not just everything like a fate, like if they are born in the spirit of time, it is just they can be only that person. Is there
okay,
any
yeah. So
option to change? Because this is when we speak about personal development, it is understanding where you are and where who you want to become.
yeah,
Yes, yeah, this is the question.
yeah. So I believe in this world. I've studied a lot of things extensively. I know in this world there are phases in people's lives. All right. And
Mhm.
during those phases, you actually grow and mature. You say, child, you're never a child. When you were a child, you were born, you act like you start crawling, you start walking. You were never a child. You had to learn several things and turn into somebody who could walk, to run. If you wanted to be an athlete, you become an athlete. If you want to be a boxer, you can become a boxer. You had to learn all these things. So there's certain things that we're not inherently born with, but we learn and we master. We just master ourselves. All right. If I know always going to be angry when I see a, a blue balloon, I get angry. Then if I can train myself not to see a blue balloon, then I won't be angry. All I need to do is train myself not to see a blue balloon, and that might be with me just wearing a different glasses. I wear different glasses all the time so that anytime I see a blue balloon, it's yellow, it's like orange, But I've taken care of the problem just by that. That might be a problem that I have, but by just putting simple fixes in your life, putting certain things in perspective and understanding what it represents to you and finding a way to approach it properly, you can you can be the best version of yourself, is what I'm saying. And it doesn't always have to be so. In relationships where things are always going wrong, all you need to do is have a clear vision of what it is, and then you can change. You understand what it is, and both of you can understand, all right, when this happens, this is what happens because of the relationship. It doesn't have to be like this, because we know this is what happens when this happens. When I put my hand on the table, you just scream. So we already know that, all right, that is what happens in this relationship. When I put my hand on the table, I scream. So when I put my hand on the table, okay, I'm about to scream, but I'm not going to scream because that's what happens. I already know. So it's just knowing without without just living on impulses or just living for the moment, just living in the moment and making mistakes. Just knowing that this is what happens when I'm in this kind of environment, in this kind of relationship, and knowing that nothing is set in stone. This is why the advice is given. We give the advice because we know you can make decisions that bring out the best version of yourself. And with the advice, you can say, all right, this is what brings out the best of me in this scenario. But if the relationship is not cut out to walk in business, it's nothing you can do to change that. It's not going to work on in business except if you get somebody else to work with them that is successful in business, and you understand that, all right, this person, if I put them with this person, they will work together. I don't want to get involved with that person because we don't work well with money. but I'll get somebody who works well with money with him so that I can work with him, and I work with somebody else. So, but you don't want to put a situation where business wise you will fail, because that is exactly what's going to happen. It's not, and you have more than one relationship that you can play with. So if one relationship is going in this direction, you can just say, all right, this is not good. This is good for friendship. That's what I'm going to leave it as. But for business, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to work with this person. And I know how to find this person after I go through my academy. I know how to find that person. And that's all. But I believe it's good to plan ahead so that you do not fail. And I believe this academy gives you the opportunity to plan and not fail. Can
Yes,
you hear me?
yes. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Desirel. It is so
yeah,
interesting. Yeah, really. And people can avoid so many problems in future just by following what you discovered, yes, and those suggestions, so they can know that this person might be like that, yes, and this is how things can go, so they can prevent a lot of challenges. Because
yeah,
yes, because when we look for partners in business, we want it to be long time, yes, and we know different stories how
yeah,
companies just break and people got bankrupt just because they didn't make right decision to choose the
exactly.
right partner for their business. Yeah, so
That's
I
right.
really appreciate what you shared with us. It is very
Yeah,
interesting, and
yeah,
I'm looking forward to see you again,
yeah,
and
no
we will
problem. Yeah,
discuss next time. We can discuss a relationship, is how to find the right life partner for busy entrepreneurs. Maybe you can share
yeah.
some more uh, case studies from your academy.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah, I really, if anything, I implore people, to go to the academy. Just go in there. If you have any doubts about any relationship you're involved in, and you just want to understand the picture, sign up for a 1 year subscription. We'll actually put together a report. You have to sign up for the 1 year subscription. That's the only way we do this, and we get you a report on any current relationship that you have. And what we do is give you of good eye understanding of what to expect and see how you can live your life. And for 3 months, you just learn different things about different relationships you can get involved in. And we help you find that person also if we have to. So I think this is a very good way to really help people make the best decisions when it comes to love, when it comes to business, when it comes to partnerships of any kind. And it's what the world needs at this point, because so many things, so many people do not, they're in toxic relationships, they fighting all the time. It's like things are just all over the place in relationships. And if we can find you something that really makes you connect harmoniously and create the best experiences, why not? Take advantage of it. I think it's something that everyone should actually take advantage of. Yeah,
Yes, of course, I'm definitely agree with this. You can know in a head what is that person is like mostly like. Yes, you can see if the match, if there is the match is
yeah,
between you and that person. Because
yeah,
if it is so big distance, yes, why to put so much effort to start building something that is like not aligned with the nature of that
yeah,
person,
yeah,
your
yeah,
nature. Mhm. Yes. Yes, Desiree, thank you so much for being
yeah.
amazing guest and for sharing about this
No
interesting
problem.
topic.
No
Yes, so
problem. No
I
problem.
wish you all the best and see you again soon.
Thank you so much, Elena. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate it.
Yeah, you're most welcome.